Boom, 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 boom. We are live, Live. Live. It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood, back on the IE Network. It's the King of Media podcast. What's going on? Hold on, let me close my window out here. It's a little noisy in this high rise. Wait for people to come in. Just hit the like button on your way in, please. What's up, Robin's Child? What's up, Benny, baby? I see my members. I see y'all. The members, y'all standing out. Hey, baby. Shay in the building. I see y'all standing out. If you are not a part of the blog and you are a member, you need to let me know if you don't have access to the blog, because you get a year free with the A plus status, and you get 2 years free if you're Hall of Fame. Shay, you have to let me know if you're not on the blog so I can get you your subscription. Y'all let me know that. Hit the like button coming through the door. King of Media Podcast, Heaven Hollywood. Just going over some things as the night winds down. I like for the whole entire day to get over with so we can discuss all of the main topics of today. So we had a few things. We're going to talk about Adam Levine of Maroon 5 exposed for cheating. We're going to talk about Tory Lanez going forward now, what this means for him in the case against Meg Thee Stallion. We are going to talk about, hold on. Who else are we talking about here? Tiffany Haddish paid off. She paid off the peoples, so she couldn't really allow this to go any further. She had to pay them peoples off. Couldn't allow it to go on. All right. How do you feel about, Dwayne Wade? He's going all the way in. Now, you know what? That's too triggering. We're not even going to talk about Dwayne Wade tonight. Nosey Heaux apologized to Nicki Minaj. We'll see how y'all feel about that. She apologized to Nicki Minaj. What does that mean? And as far as the cheating goes, ready to pay up. Also, the Cardi B started the process to get the $3.8 million from Tasha K. Then, of course, there's some people saying, oh, that's not going to work because the bank don't do that. Whoop, 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 whoop. See, you have to realize it's a little different with rich people. And then some new music is dropping. I want y'all to tell me what new artists you were into. Remember, y'all told me about Megan years ago. So what new artists you're into and looking forward to dropping. And let's see, did we discuss, what's her name? We got to discuss Halle Bailey and DDG, I think his name is. We'll talk about that in the midst of all this backlash she fancy. That's why she needs to start distancing yourself. The last thing they need is to see you on screen going to bail your boyfriend out. That's the last thing they need. I kind of think this was set up. You got to start thinking it's set up because Holly don't do nothing wrong. So you got to figure, they was like, you know what? We got to find a way to get to her. They may be trying to go through the boyfriend. Give her so much negative press around this Ariel thing. Never think about that. You got to think outside the box when you're dealing with these people. When you're dealing with these weirdos in Hollywood, you got to start thinking outside the box. You know, soon as what's her name? What was the tennis player that was on the rise? They were talking about she was going to replace Serena Williams and stuff like that. As soon as she started showing her black rapper boyfriend, remember that day he went and took a picture and put his middle finger up on TV? I don't know if she's won a major since. I'll have to look. I don't know if she's won a major since. Then she talks about mental health and all this stuff. That's because she started receiving death threats. And she hasn't been the same player since. She was on a big path to take out all of these people. She had beaten Serena Williams. They were like, "Oh, this is going to be the new it girl, in tennis." But then she had the rapper boyfriend. That was an issue. I remember speaking on that and everybody telling me, "Oh, I know what I was talking about." When it comes to this Hollywood shit, I know what I'm talking about. And they did not want to see her with no damn rapper. So that's why I was telling her before I would start separating myself. If I'm Halle Bailey, you're going along with what's happening right now, and you see all this backlash that you're getting from people in social media, I would start distancing myself from DDG. I'm serious. These are young women. And this guy, he's the same guy who was talking about, oh, he wants to get her pregnant. He's the type of dude that he knows that that's his bag, his meal ticket. He'll go and try to get her pregnant for the hell of it. I'm not even going to lie to you. He seems like that type of guy. He seems like that type of guy. That will get her pregnant for the hell of it. Because he don't want to be left behind when she really starts to blow up. So he figure, hey, let me give her a baby, right? Let me give her a baby. And then she can't leave me behind then because we'll have a kid together. Now, I'm not saying that is the truth, that's what he said, but he was saying before that he wants to get her pregnant. Right? So you got the Little Mermaid, who everybody is complaining, not everybody, but mostly every black person, every white person that came up with the Little Mermaid. Now all of a sudden they're complaining, right? Let me try to find this dude. Try to find this dude. And you got Halle Bailey. Every time I come in here, it is, damn. It's like the page stops responding. Then you got Halle Bailey, who's sticking by this dude. And they're going to use anything. They're going to use anything. Hey, Angel. Yeah, no, Naomi Osaka and Corday. Yep, Naomi Osaka and Corday. So for everybody who is new to the channel that are watching, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share the live. Tell all your friends. But ever since that time, he put his middle finger up. It's like her manager probably told it might not be wise to bring him to any more matches. right? Why bring him to any more matter? Because he's just too niggerish. You just can't. Instead of just Drake comes to the matches with Serena Williams. Drake is cheering for Serena, but he's staying down, in the seats. He's not trying to steal the moment from Serena, not trying to steal with her. And then you got Corday, where he's down there and she's taking a picture and he's got his middle finger up. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why are you putting your middle finger up? Oh, that's just his, that's just his, what are you saying? That's just the way he is. That's what they do. Well, you need to stop doing it because you're now attached to Naomi. Possession and driving reckless in a Lambo. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is his second incident since he's been dating Halle Bailey. Y'all can double check that for me if you want. But I believe this is his second incident since dating Halle Bailey. Right? Now, you already got her going through enough issues. Well, not him, but she's already going through her own issues now. And then you got this cat. He's over here. Gun possession, driving recklessly, everything that's going to bring attention to her. Everything's going to bring attention to her. Let's see here. So I'm saying this. I'm not saying break up with the dude or whatever, but until your movie is out, hey, I would distance myself as far as being in the public with him goes, because a lot of the white people who are complaining about the movie, a lot of them don't know who DDG is. You don't want them finding out either. You don't want them, oh, this is her boyfriend? This rowdy young man who just got picked up by the police the other day? See, this is why we don't want their kind in a movie like this. Look at the company she's hanging around. She's going to damage the brand of the Little Mermaid. See? This is furthers the reasons why you can't put these young black singers in this position, because they don't honor and respect the legend of the Little Mermaid. You know what I mean? Then they'll start linking her in with him. They're getting picked up on possession charges. They're like, Halle Bailey ain't getting picked up on possession charges. Getting picked up on possession charges to do with this and that. Oh, then they'll be trying to make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button coming through the door. Right? They'll be trying to link them in together. Hold on. But I don't know what's your thoughts on that, because my thoughts is I think she should distance herself from him. I'm not saying break up with him. I'm not saying break up with him, but listen, I think you should distance yourself from this guy in the public. You know what I'm saying? From this guy in the public, at least. Hold on. Now that you guys have had a day, now that you've had a day to think about it, oh, welcome, Jamina. Glad you caught the live. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm glad Angel did make the live as well. So just read up real quick on this dude. Moonwalking in Calabasas rapper DDG is now facing 2 counts of firearm possession and 1 for reckless driving, both related to his June 2022 arrest while joyriding in his Lambo. According to new court docs obtained by TMZ Hip Hop, DDG was hit with 1 count of carrying a loaded weapon. Driving around with it loaded means you ready to shoot somebody. 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon and 1 count of reckless driving, all misdemeanors. If he is convicted, each of the firearm charge could get him a year in jail, and reckless driving has a max penalty of 90 days. As we previously reported, DDG was arrested back in June. Police say they observed him driving his Lambo erratically and then pulled him over. He copped to having a 9mm handgun. So you're driving around with Halle Bailey, right? Interestingly, DDG's team claimed the LA district attorney initially declined to move forward with the case against the rapper who's dating Little Mermaid star Halle Bailey. Now, very important. Let me repeat that. Interestingly, DDG's team claimed the LAPD district attorney initially declined to move forward with a case against the rapper who's dating Little Mermaid star Halle Bailey. Now, she done got mentioned in this article. While the DA passed, now the city attorney is moving forward with the misdemeanor charges. See? See? Celtics coach, we'll get into that. So now, they weren't going to initially do it when he was a nobody. But now he's dating the Little Mermaid star. And there's a whole bunch of controversy going on surrounding her new film. Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. Okay? Whatever time he has to go to court or what have you, they're going to give him his little court dates or whatever. They're going to branch it out since we're coming towards the end of the year. They may have it as adjourned, and then boom. In 2023, when the Little Mermaid drops, they'll say DDG's court case starts the same week as the Little Mermaid. DDG rapper who happens to date Little Mermaid star Halle Bailey. What's up, Jessica? You see what I'm saying? You see how they're going to take it finger fucking and spinning around? That's what they're going to, trust me. Trust me on this. That's what they're going to do. That is definitely what they're going to do. They're going to keep on postponing and postponing. Oh, especially if it's LA too. Oh, we got so many other things to do. We're going to postpone this until they're going to look and see when this movie's scheduled to start. We're going to postpone it until 2023. See? Unbelievable. Now, so the industry is messed up. Is there any genuine people in there? There are some, but the more genuine people are a little older. But even through the people in the industry, it's just not. It's definitely none really in the younger generation. There's still a few left in the older generation, but people just say, they're old. You know, nobody's listening to them. They're old. Not going to work as hard as they work. Y'all work too hard. I don't need to do all that to get rich. Now, hold on a second here. Let's go find this apology. Let's see what y'all think about this, because Nosey Heaux live, right? Nosey Heaux live has apologized for child statements, exactly what her lawyer said she would do. If y'all seen the lawyer on live, that lawyer said expect in the next couple of days a apology. So hold on a minute. Let me get the exact apology. Nosey Heaux apologizes to Nicki Minaj. Hold on. Twitter apology. So it was very informal. She said all of those things about, she didn't tweet those things about Papa Bear. She said them out of her mouth, so I kind of wish she had used her mouth to apologize. So here's what she said. See if y'all can see this. Here's what Nosey Heaux said as far as Nicki Minaj goes. Or Nicki Minaj's son. Nosey Heaux said, few of my live shows, I made a comment about Nicki. I was under a lot of stress and pressure at the time, but I apologize for those comments, excuses. I will continue to fight to clear my name with the help of my team and lawyer Bobby Samini. And then it says a very different vibe from this weekend where she tried to get Surviving the Petties to trend again, right? That reverse Uno gonna be crazy though. Watch this, Surviving the Petties. It looks like Surviving the Petties is finally trending. This video breaks it all down. Looks like Surviving the Petties is finally trending. It breaks it all down. Estimated ET saw this breakdown under a Crystal Nicole post. This is long, but I hope it helps. All right, so now Crystal Nicole is a video blogger who a lot of people say stress and pressure don't make you talk badly about someone's child. I agree. Crystal Nicole is a YouTuber who a lot of people think is getting paid by Nicki Minaj. You know, she talks to Nicki Minaj. She has access to Nicki Minaj's lawyer. Like the lawyer texts back and forth with her. You know, Nicki Minaj's lawyer, Judd Bernstein, who they say is so great. He has went and gotten information from Crystal before. You know, has offered her a job. So a lot of people think, not me per se, but a lot of people think that Crystal Nicole is being paid by Nicki Minaj and her law team to, what's the word? Dilute everything online. They're saying the people are saying she is in charge, and I've gotten so many people that's DM me this, and I've seen it on Twitter and what have you. They think that she is purposely putting these stories, that debunking every single story about Jennifer, about Nosey, about anything against Nicki Minaj online, and they feel as though Nicki Minaj is paying her to do that. Now, I haven't really had conversations with Crystal Nicole. I did prior before. Never done anything wrong to Crystal Nicole, but she fell into that category of I have actually been supporting her way before she was only doing Nicki videos. It seems like now she doesn't do any other videos now except Nicki videos. But I was supporting her before she was just a Nicki blogger, right? But because I don't do the kneecap sucking, and because I look at things more in an open mind, and I'm very much more objective, and I just look at Nicki Minaj as an artist, a great artist, and I don't try to get personally involved in her case and try to jump on her side and make Jennifer Yu wrong and make. I mean, I don't know these people to be doing that. Just because I wasn't doing that, and I would go on her lives and I would say, yeah, but what about if blah blah blah? So I guess she saw, because she just stopped talking about this. She unfollowed me, and I would always compliment her on her videos. I'm like, you're very well spoken. You do your research. I would always compliment her on the videos, but there's a lot of fans that are in the realm of it's if it's not 100% positive about Nicki, then you are an op. So I guess I fell into that category. So people are saying that they believe that she is being paid by Nicki Minaj's team. Right? What's up, Nappy Girl TV? Janine said, I don't think she's paying her with money. I think she's paying her with access to information. Her lawyer brings her clout. That's true. A lot of these, when people are like, oh yeah, you're on Cardi B's payroll. Oh yeah, you're on so and so's payroll. A lot what they don't understand is, you really think these artists are gonna go into their pocket and pay bloggers? No, that's not how they pay bloggers. The way these artists look at it, especially if you're not that big of a blogger, the way these artists look at it is, people are going to see me following you. Now you're going to get more followers because I'm following you. You're going to get clout because I'm following you. So I'm not going to be following you, giving you clout, and you can make more money because now when you talk, people see that I'm following you. So now they're going to be more prone to believe you. I'm not going to go and do all that for you and then pay you on top of that. See? So that's what people don't understand when they say, oh, you're on a payroll, or you're on so-and-so's payroll. They're thinking they are actually taking money out of their pocket and paying bloggers. That's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. Maybe at one point they did. I'm not, maybe people, and when blogs started first getting popular, but it's already been proven that money can buy everybody, right? So you have to think to yourself, why would any artist, whether it be Nicki Minaj, whether it be Cardi B, whether it be anybody, why would they go and pay Heaven Hollywood when they can go offer double to the Shade Room and buy them out and buy them off? And don't tell me they wouldn't buy them off. If Cardi B goes to them and say, I'll pay you $5 million to stop talking about Nicki Minaj and only talk good about me, you don't think the Shade Room gonna take that $5 million? Of course they are. Of course they are. And now you're talking about swaying a company that has 20 million followers, as opposed to paying Heaven Hollywood, who has 10,000 followers. So sometimes people, I think, just talk just to be talking. Right? If they're gonna pay me, if they're gonna pay somebody to cape for them online, they're gonna go for the big dogs. The big dogs with millions of followers. They're not gonna waste their time on Heaven Hollywood, Armand Wiggins, who has 40,000 on Instagram. When you got people like Hollywood Unlocked, Ball Alert, Gossip of the City, Shade Room, these people have millions of followers. If they're going to pay anybody, they'll pay them, because the message is going to get across to so many more people. Right? So after this apology, how do y'all feel about that? She apologized. Do you think that Nicki Minaj should accept the apology? Now, she's still not going to stop the lawsuit. She's still not going to stop the lawsuit regardless. Let me see what Crystal Nicole said. The 5 elements of defamation. Publication of information is required. The person being defamed was identified by the statement. The remarks had a negative impact on a person's reputation. The published information is demonstrably false. The defendant is at fault. What are the 2 types of defamation? Libel and slander are types of defamation. Statement. Libel is defamatory statement that is written. Slander is a defamatory statement that is oral. So libel would be slander that they type out. and defamatory would be slander that they said out of their mouth. The difference between defamation and slander is that a defamatory statement can be made in any medium. Opinion. Only statements of fact can be defamatory. Statements of opinion are not. The Supreme Court has defined public figures as those who hold government office and those who have achieved a role of special prominence in the affairs society by reason of notoriety of their achievement, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff is boring. We don't care about that. So she says, there you go. Like I said, Nicki only has to prove malice, which is what she can and will do with ease. Anybody who sues for defamation, slander, needs to be able to prove malice. And if it wasn't just an unintentional, not mean to harm statement, etc., same rules apply for both. Most people may not truly understand what malice, standard, accurate, slander. Okay. So anyway, so basically, Crystal Nicole, what else is she gonna say? She's defending Nicki Minaj. She's not gonna come up and say, "Oh, Nicki really has no case." So you know what Crystal Nicole was gonna say, right? But Crystal Nicole is basically saying Nicki will win this case with ease. To be honest, it's starting to sound like the Jennifer and Tyrone have gotten a few people caught up in the takedown of Nicki. These bloggers were talking big and bold, thinking they had the scoop, when really it was mistruths, and they are complicit in stoking the flames on social media. Well, I was one of those smart bloggers who didn't get involved. I think I may have reported on it once or twice in the beginning, and I ended that statement with, well, at the end of the day, if Nicki Minaj is trying to bribe Jennifer, then that is not right. And she should have to pay whatever consequences they want her to pay. If Kenneth Petty is trying to bribe Jennifer and that is found out, then he should have to pay whatever consequences that he needs to pay. If Jennifer is lying, or if it turns out that Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty were not bribing Jennifer, then whatever consequences, if they're going to countersue or whatever the case may be, she will have to pay those consequences. But I'm going to wait until it's all over to find out. And that's how I left it. But everybody else was reporting on it every day, doing lies, calling Nicki this, calling Kenneth to that. I'm not into all that. I'm not into their court cases like that. I wasn't into Cardi's court cases like that until they announced the same thing that just happened with Cardi, with the girls. People like, how come you never report on this? Because there was nothing happening. So there was no need for me to report on Cardi's case because there was nothing happening. She kept going to court and it kept getting adjourned. Same thing with Tory Lanez and Megan. There's nothing happening. I report on it when something happens. So this case, it never really interests me because Kenneth Petty had already did jail time. So it didn't interest me. I just wanted to see whether she was going to come out with a video of Nicki Minaj talking to her on the phone, like she said in the beginning. Said she had proof. So as far as what the other bloggers were doing, I have no idea. Maybe Malice. Nicki do a live. Nicki did a live last year saying she didn't do coke. Nosey Heaux recapped that live and said that she believes she's lying. So a year she decides to state for a fact that Nicki does coke. Right. So here's the only thing with that. Here's the only thing with that. And this is the thing you got to watch out for. Like I said, I'm not so as confident as Crystal that this is going to be an easy case. And the reason why I said that is Cardi B sent 3 cease and desists. She then DM'd Tasha K and tried to settle it. She sent 3 cease and desists trying to settle it. And then one other time on the phone trying to settle it. Tasha K refused all 4 or 5 times. Plus, she had Tasha K saying, she had proof of Tasha K saying, I know it ain't true, but I'm still going to post it. And do y'all know, even with all that proof, with the 3 cease and desists refused, Cardi B just barely won that case. People may think that, it was a no. Cardi B just barely won that case. And the only reason I think that she was able to hold up was because of Tasha K doing that, dismissing those cease and desist letters. I think that's the only thing that really saved Cardi B. Because defamation, people sue for defamation a lot, but celebrities suing the press, it's hard, man. It's hard. I mean, you've had people like the National Enquirer, who's been around slinging lies for 50 years, and they're still in business. Right? They're still in business. So Nosey Heaux' lawyer was on, and he said, I'm just going to request them to throw this out because this is not really a lawsuit. Right? First and foremost, it doesn't have Starr said it doesn't have a case note on. He said it's not even official. It doesn't have a case number run. Second of all, even though Nicki Minaj said, I don't do coke, she kind of complicated that statement by saying, if you want to know what my drug of choice or my drugs of choice is, just listen to my music, child. So then they go listen to the music, and more than one record, she's referring to doing blow. Yes, she did say, I don't do cocaine. But then she told us, didn't tell me, but she told him, if you want to know my drug of choice or my drugs of choice, go listen to my music. And then Nosey Heaux can go say, I listen to her music, and she says in the music that she does blow. So what was I to think, Your Honor? She said, go listen to her music if we want to know her drug of choice. And I went and listened, and it says she's doing blow. She's in Tokyo with the Kokio. They got that good blow. Your Honor, what was I supposed to think? So I thought she did coke. When you couple that with what I saw on screen, and she was sniffing and doing the actions of someone who does coke, in my opinion, she did coke. So if Nosey Heaux goes into the courtroom and states it like that, in my opinion, she does coke. You have to prove malice. I should have said, in my opinion. I didn't say I definitely had facts that she did coke. I was bringing my opinion based on what she said in the song and based on how she was acting alive. And that's how people, I've known people who've done coke, and that's how they act. So when I'm looking at her sniffing and putting the nose in actions of someone who does coke, then I combine that with the record and her telling me to go listen to her music, which I did because I'm a big fan, Your Honor. I'm a big fan of Nicki Minaj. So when she told me go listen to her music, I have all her music. Like I said, I'm a big fan. You see, you have to, when you're doing that, you have to at least just prove that you didn't intentionally say she did coke. You see? It's all in how you state things. Your Honor, I was a big fan of Nicki Minaj until she came at me and was mad at me for giving Jennifer You a platform. And Your Honor, this is what I truly feel this lawsuit is about. I truly feel as though because I gave Jennifer a platform and I created hashtag surviving the petties, because I am, Your Honor, as well, I am also a domestic violence survivor. So I didn't maliciously give Jennifer a platform, but I'm also a domestic violence survivor. And I could not just sit around and allow her to be silenced just because that's my favorite rapper. I'm sorry. You need a tissue, Miss Nosey Heaux? Yes, please. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Excuse me. So that's the reason why we're here today. And it's going to be up to people. Jury is very important. Jury is very important. Who's going to be out there? Who's going to be sitting in the jury? I believe that the jury that in the Cardi B, Tasha K case, I think the jury just destroyed Tasha K's chances. The moment I saw the jury, I said, oh, hell, Tasha K is not winning this. So the jury is going to be very important. So Tasha K's problem was she showed no remorse whatsoever. She showed no sorts of accountability. Even though she was shown over and over and over what she was saying, she couldn't prove. She continued to say it. I don't think Nosey's going to do that. Nosey's a very smart woman, very calculated woman. So I don't believe for 1 minute she's going to go there like, F that itch. I said what I said. Look, I just don't, the way how she was acting before, now that she has a lawyer, I don't think she's going to say that now. I don't. You already heard the lawyer come out and say she showed some remorse. She's sorry for what she said. She was under a lot of pressure. She was getting death threats from her fans. So she reacted. Right? So the whole thing is, this is what I want to know. This is what I want to know. Will Nick, she's been dealing with court cases with Kenneth Petty over the last 2.5 years, right? Now, this court case, Kenneth Petty's going to get mentioned again. Because Nosey's going to say, Your Honor, I believe what this is not even about me saying that she was on coke, because I said that last year and she didn't sue me. I have written down every single outlet that posted a story that said, after she did that live, that said she was on coke. And Your Honor, she's not suing them. So what is this really about? This is really about me giving Jennifer a platform. Because if it was about me saying she was on coke, she would have sued me last year when I made the initial statement. And she would have sued those other outlets as well, who have way more money than me. You see my statements here, Your Honor. This is what I make off of YouTube. Roughly $1,100 a month. She could sue, Hollywood Unlocked. She could sue, who else posted? TMZ or whoever. And have a lot better chance of paying for. She could sue The Real. They're no longer in business. They're not on the TV anymore, but sue the network who had The Real on. But instead, she chooses to sue me. You want to know why, Your Honor? Because it's personal. It's personal. She sees me, a young, dark-skinned woman, a lesbian. Shout out to the LGBT, by the way. I'm a dark-skinned lesbian. I have nothing except my French bulldog. And she choosing to sue me. Do you need a minute, Miss Nosey Heaux? No. Your Honor, my client did not state that she had proof that Miss Minaj or Miss Mirage or Miss Petty did cocaine. That was just her opinion. As a blogger, as a person who talks on the internet with freedom of press, she saw all these other, she's a content creator, she saw all these other blogs stating that Miss Mirage was doing coke. So she made a valiant mistake. She hopped on the bandwagon. That's what my client is most guilty for, hopping on the bandwagon and saying, well, since no one else is getting sued, I guess it's okay for me to say. But it wasn't okay, because she had no idea that behind the scenes, Miss Mirage had built up disdain for her. She's a nobody, Your Honor. She didn't even know that Nicki Minaj knew who she was. It says here in the paperwork, out of Miss Miraj's lawyer's own mouth, that Nosey is a nobody. She had no idea that this was going to, that it was going to get back to Miss Miraj. She figured she's a nobody. Who cares about what she says? Her lawyer said she has 3,000 followers. Really? Really, Your Honor? 3,000 followers? Compared to people like Hollywood Unlocked and The Shade Room, and imagine what their retweets were like. Imagine how many people their retweets. So you have to throw people under the bus, by the way. You got to start dry snitching and throwing people under the bus. See, because you're trying to make it seem to the jury like it's more than just this. And, Your Honor, how much did Nosey's statements really affect Miss Miraj? Oh, by the way, Miss Miraj, congratulations on your Michael Jackson Vanguard Award that you just received 2 weeks ago. I see the statements really didn't affect that much because MTV still gave you that video Vanguard Award. If I'm looking at Your Honor, here's a picture of her receiving. Very great performance, by the way, Miss Miraj. Here, Your Honor, here's some video of her performing on the Video Vanguard Award. It didn't really stop that. By the way, she just set a record for the most sales in 2022 with her song Super Freaky Girl. She put a song out, Super Freaky Girl, that just broke major records. So, Your Honor, Nosey's comments, even though they were wrong, it's not affecting Miss Miraj's money. It's not affecting her popularity. It's not affecting her credibility. It's not affecting her reputation. She's the #1 selling female rapper in 2022, Your Honor. So what did Nosey's little 3,000 followers cost Miss Miraj? This is about defamation. She simply made an accusation based on her idol telling her to go listen to her music, which she did. And to her disappointment, she heard her idol, because she's a big fan. You gotta keep saying that. She's a big fan, Your Honor. She heard her idol tell her she's in Tokyo with the Kokio. No? So, no further questions, John. The defense rests. We fend for, this to be a long, drawn out trial. What does Miss Miraj hope to get from Nosey? She knows she doesn't have any funds. She just wants to get back at her because she allowed Jennifer to have a platform to bring up things that her husband unfortunately did. That's what this is about, Your Honor. I hear and I beg that this case just gets thrown out. Nosey will issue a public apology to Miss Miraj. And that be that. And then we're going to see what happens. But that's what they're going to try. I can tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. That is what, paraphrasing, of course, not word for word. Paraphrasing, that is what her lawyer is going to say. Now, they are going to attempt what you also have to remember is, does Nick really want to get deposed? Does Nick want to get deposed? Because now we got to go Kenneth Petty again. My husband's already been through enough. He continued getting slandered for this. Is it really worth going through to sue for money that I'm never going to get? This chick ain't got $75,000. Now, is it worth me paying my lawyers to come into court, to go through a suit that I might not win, but if I do win, what would be my benefit? Well, I could fling it around in everyone's face and say, here, this blogger didn't have any money, but for all of you that got money, look at this. You better watch what you say. She could use it for that. It really depends on what this is worth to Nicki. Because Nicki, in the past, because Nosey brought up her son, even though she's now apologized, Nicki may say, nah, it's too late for all that, child. So maybe because she brought up her son, Nicki might say, you know what, I'm just going to be a pain in her ass but she's not spending money on lawyer fees because the lawyers already came out and said he's doing this pro bono. Of course he is. It's Nicki Minaj, the biggest star in the world. Of course you're going to do it pro bono. I do it pro bono too, because I'm going to get all the clout in the world. God forbid my client actually wins. So Nicki's not going to be costing her lawyer fees. But is Nick going to say, is this really worth it? Now I'm going to have to get deposed, and now more of my business is going to be out there. And I'm going to have to put my husband through this stuff again when we're trying to get past it. It really depends on whether it's worth that much to Nicki. Because remember, Nicki was in this same situation with the dude, Jesse Palmer. Do y'all remember him? And Nicki threatened to sue him. She came online and said, you go into jail. Y'all remember that? Now again, if it's about teaching her a lesson, and if she feels as though it's worth getting deposed and bringing Kenny into it, because that they're going to attack from that angle, bring Kenny into it just to teach her a lesson, then go for it. It's within her right if she wants to do that. But what if she does all that and don't win? It's not a slam dunk. It's not a slam dunk. But if she wants to do that to teach her a lesson, then she has well within her right to do so. But you're going to have to also tell your husband, look, we're going to be going through this again. It's going to come back up. Bring all this stuff back up again. So the first thing is I have to see, well, I don't know if Nosey will even mention it because she said she's not even going to tell when she gets served. But those documents were not official court documents. This is what the paper that he drew up. But it didn't have the court number on the paper. So either he sent it afterwards, he served her, right? She probably served by now. And then the next step is going to be deposing. Now, in that deposition, they're going to have to go over this line 4, right? They're going to have to go over this line 4 that states Nosey is acting as a proxy for another female rapper. Which, in my opinion, I don't care what female rapper you think it is. Nosey was talking about Nicki Minaj 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The whole thing with the Jennifer Huff thing, Jennifer Heaux. So there ain't no other rapper behind Nosey. Because Nosey was dragging all of the female rappers just the same 2.5 years ago when she was trying to make a name for herself. So when they go through that and then find out, if they go through the deposition, find out that there's nobody behind Nosey, just her, I wonder, will that then change their minds? I wonder if they don't find anything after they depose and after they do the deposition and they look around and check her and summons her phone and summons her email, and they don't find what they're hoping to find, summons her DMs. I wonder, will then, when they say, well, no, it's actually just her acting alone, I wonder, will that have a bearing on them, knowing that it's not a big fish? There really is no big fish. It's just Nosey. I wonder what mindset that'll put them in. Will it say, oh, it don't really matter, I don't care, I'm still going after? Going to be very interesting. Going to be very interesting. But as we see, don't be expecting, the way these damn cases going, don't be expecting no decision soon, child. Don't be expecting no decision in 2023. That's for damn sure. Because first they got to go through all the pretrial stuff. They got to depose first before they even start doing discovery and all this other stuff. So they got to depose, they got to have an interview, they got to sit down, they got to go over the lawsuit, all 4 steps. And once they do all of that, after they depose, they're going to say, so now that you've seen the results of the deposition, do you still want to go ahead with the lawsuit? Nicki Minaj's lawyer says, yes. Okay. Take it back. to the court, bring it back to the judge. Judge looks everything out, reads over it, says, all right, they're still going to pursue a lawsuit. Then they got to bring them back into court and officially state this is a judgment, blah, 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 blah. And then they're going to ask them, what are you suing for? And that's when they got to come with their number. The $75,000 is already mandatory. They got to come with their number. We're suing judge for liable, for punitive damages, for what's that? What's the word they always use? Something and something. The two words they use: stress and something. Right. So then they're gonna say what they're suing for. All right. They're suing for such and such and such. All right. So then now, after they've decided that, we're gonna come back in 2 months with discovery. We're gonna do discovery over the next couple of months. We're gonna give you 2 months to do discovery. When we come back January 2023 or February 2000, they usually do it February. Usually don't really do something in January. February 1st, 2023, we're going to start discovery. We're going to come back with what we have in discovery. That's when Nicki and her lawyer will come back with the time that Nosey said she was on coke, the times that Nosey, other times where she said the things about Kenneth Petty. And they even said in the lawsuit, they're only mentioning, which was a good strategy, they're only mentioning the things about Papa Bear, even though it's not actionable. So they want the people in the jury or whatever to say, no, it's not actionable what she said about Papa Bear, but it's just not right. I'm sure a lot of you out there have children. This is a 2-year-old. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 2-year-old. And even though her talking about it is not actionable, to Nicki Minaj, her 2-year-old son is her entire world. I'm Nicki's lawyer now. She would die for her son. And at the moment Nosey said these things about her son, those things were so hurtful that only thing Miss Mirage can think about is, what happens when my son gets old enough to read? What happens when he gets old enough to read? I'm sure the internet will still exist in 6 or 7 years, Your Honor. And he goes on the internet and he sees these things said about him when he was a little baby, because nothing on the internet disappears. It's there forever once you say it. How as a mother do you think that would make Miss Mirage feel? How would you feel if somebody told you, and I apologize to Nicki and to anyone who has to hear this again, how would you feel if someone called your child a cockeyed baby that's going to grow up to be a rapist like his father, his grandfather, and he's got rapist DNA in his blood? How would you think that would make your someone feel, Your Honor? I'm not Your Honor. I'm talking to Jerry. Sorry. For all you out there who have children. So these are the type of games that attorneys play. Even though they know that Nosey's lawyer will probably say, objection, Your Honor, not relevant. Right? And then the lawyer, the judge will probably say, sustained. Please revoke that. Please remove that from even though he tells them, don't, that's not relevant. Remove that from your mental Rolodex. Once they hear it, they hear it. You can't unhear it. You can't unhear it. So those are the games that lawyers play. Even though I know they're going to probably object, I want them to hear that. And as much as he say, remove that statement, those statements aren't relevant, people are still going to be sitting there like, yeah, but I heard it. That's what she said about that little boy. So it's interesting because, like I said, and then people get mad at me when I make these statements because they didn't create nothing. That's not my point. The point is not whether she created suing people, but look back, and if you don't believe me, look up how many people have sued the press for defamation. And now social media is considered the press, especially when you have an LLC, right? She's considered an independent reporter or an independent commentator that commentates on celebrity news, right? So now she's an independent commentator. She's considered press because she covers and commentates celebrity news. Go look up how many people has been successful suing, not just the press. We're not talking about people who are on TV or people who are writing in magazines. Go look up how many people have been successful suing YouTubers. We know how long YouTube has existed, and we know that Nosey's not the first person to say something reckless. I've heard some stuff with Tasha K, with Jason Lee. Right? I've heard some stuff on YouTube, and even more, and even further than them, with this channel called, there's a channel on YouTube, all they do is lie. This happened, I think the name of the channel is. All they do is lie. Tisa Tells, or whatever the hell her name is, Tisa something. I got inside information from the courthouse. Let me tell you. Girl, let me tell you what happened. I got inside information from the courthouse, and they said that. Let me tell you this. Everybody get your popcorn, because this is what happened. Okay? This is what happened. I got inside information from the courthouse. I know someone's in the courthouse, and they said that Blac Chyna is going to get at least $11 million. This is what they said in the court. I have inside information in the court. This bitch be straight lying. ain't lying. And she still gets away with it. No, of course they do. Of course they're going to find out their real name. They have to go to YouTube for that. YouTube is going to got to give up that information. If YouTube gets subpoenaed, they got to give up that information of what their name is. You get paid if YouTube if YouTube gets a court order or a subpoena. Hey, what's her real name? They got to give it up. They ain't They're not gonna be like, we ain't telling you. They gotta give it up, man. They gonna find out. They'll find out their real name. They're gonna find out their real name. If they didn't find out Nosey's real name, they would have got it from YouTube eventually. So yep, that's y'all's girl. Ash, that's y'all's girl. What I got back, she says, what she got back. Okay. What I got back was so but allegedly allegedly, as you know, no longer works. Right? There is a rule. That's why I stopped saying allegedly as well. There is a rule for allegedly. Even if you say allegedly and you keep saying it, I think it's a certain amount of times you're allowed to say allegedly before they say, okay, so now you're trying to not instigate, it's another word, incite maybe. Now you're trying to incite the audience to believe what you're saying because you keep saying the same thing over again, and then you're saying allegedly. So I think it only works a certain amount of times, not like before, where as long as you say allegedly, so and so, like you have to be like allegedly. Listen, this is a report that I got, and like I always tell people, I don't know about everybody else, but the information that I get, I tell the person, you tell me, and I put it out there. And if they come back with some lawsuit and saying, where did you get the information from? I'm telling. I'll tell your ass right now. I'm telling. My source is Jill so-and-so. She said it. My source is Amanda Silverstein. She told me that girl do coke. So that's where I got it from. See, but the thing is this, Playgirl Diamond, you can't say fake news because then people aren't going to believe you, and that defeats the whole purpose, right? That defeats the whole purpose to these people. You see, that's how YouTubers get themselves in trouble. They don't like saying allegedly because they're scared the audience isn't going to believe them. They're scared the audience going to be like, it's probably not true. If it's true, why are you saying allegedly? But you have to let them know. I have to say allegedly anyway because most of it's secondhand information, right? So it's perfect. It's like perfect example. The Gloria Velez fight, right? Perfect example. Now, the Gloria Velez fight, The room that it took place in, I wasn't in that room. I was in the building, but I wasn't in that room. So I didn't see the fight take place. I was in the same place, but my boy who I was there with was right there, right? He told me blow for blow what happened. He was standing right there. I said, oh shit, what happened? He told me about the shoe falling off and this, that, and the other. So when I tell the story, I have to say allegedly because it's still secondhand information, even though I was there. I didn't see it with my eyes. Right? But then I asked Gloria. So that's another way you can get out of allegedly. I asked the person involved in the fight, and they told me this is what happened. So if I go and print that, and Remy be like, motherfucking bloggers out here talking, fuck this bitch ass bloggers. I'm from the boogie down. It's your girl Remy Ma. I'm from boogie down. This bitch, this Gloria Velez bitch, talking about she fucking bocked me up and my fucking glove. Who the fuck is this Heaven Hollywood ass nigga? Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is fucking Heaven Hollywood? Fucking Heavenly Hollywood. Your name looks like it's Heavenly Hollywood. Who the fuck is that Heavenly Hollywood? Talking about Gloria Velez, bought me up. Nigga, I'm from the boogie down. It's Remy Ma. Rest in peace, Big Pun. You're like, yo, she told me she put the boo boo boop on you. She told me she boo boo boo. You know. So of course I'm gonna post it. I'm going to post it because that's what Gloria Velez said. So, you know, I've had people, I've only received one cease and desist. So that's how I know I'm good money. I've never had nobody tell me I'm suing you for lying. And they've all seen my lies. People like to be messy. So plenty of people have recorded my live and sent them to the celebrity I was talking about. I know for a fact everybody sent Diddy that story about him and the dove. Diddy ain't came back to me and said nothing yet, like he did Jaguar Wright. Diddy ain't came and said, yo, Playboy, yo, why you online telling them the story about what happened to the dove? That's not cool, Playboy. Nigga, you threw the dove up in the air, talking about you sending prayers to heaven, and you had the dove in your hand, and you said a prayer over the dove, and you threw the dove up in the air, and that nigga came and collapsed right back down to the ground. He didn't even fly. He didn't even fly, my nigga. Like, your prayers fucking you killed the dove, my nigga. That's how demonic you are. This nigga took the dove and said, let us pray. Dear Lord in heaven, take that. All the haters. Dear Lord in heaven, we thank you for another day. Rest in peace, B.I.G. We miss you. Let's make sure that we get out of this unscathed. Lord, I ask you to bless the whole team. We honor you. We respect you. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Fly to the heavens. That bird said, "Whap." Oh shit! That bird, that bird, that bird said, "Hell no, I'm not taking this up there." I'd rather die. I'd rather die first. I'd rather die first before I take a prayer to Jesus from you. Yo, this nigga Diddy is a trip, yo. This nigga Diddy is a trip. That nigga is Damien. Yo, that nigga is Damien himself, boy. Yo, the bird. This nigga is so bad. This nigga is so bad. He did not. The bird didn't want to fly up and take the prayers to God, because God would have said, Tito, you're back dropping off the prayers. Let's see. Who is this from? Oh, Master. You know, the bird is talking. You know, them birds from heaven can talk. Master, this is a prayer from Sean Puffy Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, b.k.a. Puff Daddy, the owner of Bad Boy. Yes, yes, Master. Backslap. What's wrong with you? How dare you bring prayers up here from heaven? Jesus is gonna backslap that bird's neck off. So instead of him having to disappoint Jesus, he said, I'd rather die. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, the bird died. Yes, the bird died. Magic. He threw him up in the air, and it was a dove. You know how they pray over the dove? He threw the dove up in the air, and the dove came flat right back down. Wow. And that's a true story. That is a true story, because if it wasn't, as many times I told that on my live, that nigga would have been sent some sort of cease and desist or something at me. I don't lie on nobody. I don't lie on nobody. These niggas in this industry, boy, they got a lot of skeletons. A lot of skeletons. You talking about up until the time social media existed. And we're not, and even when social media started existing, their tea really didn't start getting noticed to about 2 years into social media. So let's say, when did Instagram come into effect? Like 2010? So you got to give it to like 2012 before they shit started really getting spilled online. So you're talking 1985 or whenever, when rappers started getting popping, all the way up to 2012. That's 30 years of tea. that unless somebody that was around tells you, a lot of these things you'll never find out. Because them niggas ain't gonna tell you. You just got somebody like me who was around in those days and was up in them circles. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell it because I'm not lying. Now they can get mad at me for bringing up the truth and be like, "Oh, why you had to say that?" And blah blah blah. Like Fat Joe did. Fat Joe got mad because I brought up that he got jumped in Long Island after talking mad shit about Long Island. He got jumped, and he came in my live. Oh, that's the biggest lie I ever heard, and then he left. I'm like, bro, how come you just sit? Why come you just stay here for me to question you, so I can tell you how I can debunk you saying it was a lie, because I had receipts of it. I said, oh, what's the biggest lie you ever heard, Joe? And then I started talking to him, and then he left. So when he came to Long Island, he said, what's up, Long Island? What's up? He had Remy Martin in the car. He had this other nigga in the car. And then he had one dude inside. I think he had like 3 Terror Squad niggas outside because he was just coming to perform. His set was like 20 minutes. He was going to perform, and then they was going to go back to the Bronx. He had them outside. He felt so comfortable in that building. He only brought one other dude in there with him because he was like, ain't no hoods out here. Where all my hood niggas? Oh, I forgot. Ain't no hoods in Long Island. What y'all got out here? This is houses. All I see is houses and cows and shit. Ain't no hoods. Ain't no hood niggas out here. And nigga from Wine Dance was like, word? He's about 5 to 7 minutes into his set. And then about 7 or 8 Wine Dance niggas rough the stage. Wine Dance in the house. Boop, 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 boop. Stomp, stomp, boop, boop, stomp. Fat Joe and the dude got up how they stomped him. That dude got his chain snatched. I mean, Fat Joe went back to the car, tell, oh, yo, so. They didn't come back. And see, once I started naming the club and stuff like that, now he don't know whether you can Google that or not. He don't know whether you can Google that club now and that story come up. So he just hot-tailed it out of the chat. He's like, oh, we got a real nigga here. Let me beat it. Get up out of here. oh, you did this magic? Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I'm about to get up out of here, man. I kept y'all long enough. Will Nicki continue with the lawsuit? I think she's come this far, even though Nicki in the past has just threatened to sue. She threatened to sue Jesse Palmer. She never went through with it. I called Jesse myself and I was like, what happened to that lawsuit, by the way? Just wanted to know. Did Nicki ever sue you? He was like, hell no. So he said Nicki never sued him, but she did go publicly and say, you about to go to jail because you telling lies about I think that was about Kenneth Petty too. I think it was something she said about Kenneth Petty. And something he said about the brother. Oh, she took care of his lawyer fees and this, that, and the other. And then she said, you're on TV lying about me and my family and you don't have any proof. And she said, you're getting sued. You're going to jail. But then after she realized, she said, you're going to jail. Like you can't go to jail for saying that. She erased it. She deleted it. But she said, prepare to get sued. But she never went through with it. So this time, because she did mention the son, she'll probably go through with it. We'll see what happens. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming. I appreciate y'all coming in peace. If you're not a member, please go and join it members only. If you see the join button at the front of the YouTube channel, if you have an iPhone, please don't use the app, the YouTube app. Type in youtube.com in your Safari browser or your Google browser. If you do Google, tap after you type in youtube.com, tap the three dots, click the button, click in the box that says desktop site, and then you should see the join button after you click the IE Network icon. All right. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Share this with your friends. Have a great evening, y'all. Okay, Sexy 60, I appreciate it. What happened with the Celtics coach? Who? Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. You told me about that. So who's their coach right now? Their coach is the one that's married to Nia Long? Hold on. Their coach is the one that's married to Nia Long, right? How the hell did he do that? Disciplinary action, including significant suspension for an unspecified violation of organizational guidelines. Discussions are going on with the Celtics. Celtics coach Ndoka facing a light suspension for violation of team rules. A league source confirms. Just to report the news. Wojciechowski later added, confirmed, Celtics coach is facing a light suspension for violating of team rules. A league source confirms. Udoka's job isn't believed to be in jeopardy, but suspension is looming, and a final determination on that length could come as soon as Thursday. So it's something about he violated team rules, and it's the off season, so it had to be something that he did in the playoffs. It had to be something that's in the playoffs. Give me a little while. If you follow me on Instagram, if you're not following me, Heaven Hollywood _ Clark. Give me a little bit, and I'll probably get an answer for you. So Candace Owens is trashing Beyonce now. I know she trashed the Kardashians, but now she's trashing Beyonce. I'll cover that in the video. She trashed Beyonce now. She's always going to trash somebody who's against Trump, right? She is most definitely sucking Trump's old balls under the table. That's what she was doing before when she was trying to get mentioned. I guess she didn't suck him his old dried up ball sack good enough because he acted like she didn't even exist. He never called Candace Owens' name. Candace Owens thought that she was going to be one of his representatives, one representative for him. He never even called Candace Owens black ass. At the end of the day, Candace Owens, you dummy, you are a nigger to him. At the end of the day, you are nothing but a nigger to Donald Trump. And that goes for any black person that sits and goggles Trump's balls in their mouth. At the end of the day, you are a nigger to him. You may be a nigger to Biden too, but Trump is going to tell people you're a nigger. You're going to probably hear it in the street. Yo, Donald Trump called you a nigger. You're probably not going to hear if Biden did it. He going to say, now keep it quiet. So anybody who goes against Trump, Candace Owens, is going to trash. Owens bashed Chrissy Teigen. Candace supported Adam Levine and bashed Lizzo. Of course, because Adam Levine is a Republican, I think. And you know Chrissy Teigen hates Trump. I think Adam Levine is a Republican. I think he's a Trump supporter anyway. I think, if I remember. If anybody listens to Candace Owens still, I don't know what to tell them. I would love for a black dude just to give her the BBC just one time. Just one time. Let her slip up. Let her be out at a party one night and get to drinking. And then some black dude just come in from behind and just give her the BBC. Oh, I'd laugh my ass off. Get her ass sprung the fuck out on black cock. That bitch would be like, you know what? I don't like Donald Trump anymore. While praising the Queen, I live in the UK, and I'm not against monarchy, but the Queen paid off the victims of her pedo son. That is a fact. We're not going to talk about the Queen because I'm not trying to get struck down. All right. I love y'all. Check y'all next time.